Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So, my name is Amir bin ADNAN, and this is my group members, which is Muhammad NABIL bin NAIM, Muhammad FIKRI bin JUSOH, Muhammad IKMAL HAKIMI bin ROHAIZAD, and Muhammad AIDID NAZUAR bin ADNI. So, we are from group 4, and we want to present about one of the chapter in the article of the future of fintech, and the chapter is chapter 6, which is responses of traditional players.
For introduction, nowadays almost all business institution or organization need a financial technology to help their business. So there are few strategies that traditional players can take to start a fintech startup. The strategies are make, buy, and cooperation. Also nowadays, business organization also invested a huge amount of money to acquire innovative startups and gaining access to new advanced and innovative solutions.
So now we continue with the challenges of making. So the creation of an ICT system produces a potential cost which are identical to the type of payment of interest, and the total cost of the technical debt is the same. Then a large banking group created through the merger of several different financial institutions. Then financial innovation has also created complex tools, which is requiring the development of sophisticated storage and control systems. Then fintech initiatives now also have approach to technical solutions which enable them to integrate the impact of financial innovation and regulation from the outset.
Next, traditional players have all the elements they need to succeed in this fintech transformation, such as first, the knowledge of the business, next, the network, the third, a record of accomplishment in CRM, which is customer relationship management, next, the transaction security, and finally, the financial resources. A number of traditional players have tried to implement this strategy, but come with mixed result, which is either a fail or a good. There are a few reasons why an organization struggle to make their own fintech. First is the fear of cannibalizing their existing activities. Next, the failure of their previous attempts. And lastly, the difficulties in effectively mobilizing the staffs. These factors explain why traditional players have been reluctant to invest huge amount of money in the digital transformation. But there are also reasons why organizations succeed in making a fintech. First, they manage to encourage their staff to adopt to a new working methods, and they are also capitalizing on their main strength, which is the knowledge of their customers.
Next, we will continue with challenges of purchasing the fintech. First, traditional banking has not been very active when it comes to acquiring fintech companies. Second, financial institutions have made almost no investment. Third, financial institutions seems to be afraid that they will slow their target's momentum. And lastly, financial institutions will struggle to merge the new entity with their existing development teams.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad FIKRI bin JUSOH, metric number 1192230, and right now I would like to explain about cooperation model, which is collaboration of cooperation model is emerging in the banking and financial sector. Next, fintech startup need to have access to partners that know how to operate a core banking system. The last one is financial institution can sell the startup's product to third parties in unbranded form. Next, the accelerator programs and the incubators. Financial institution must consider this aspect to adapt the business model, which is the number one, the developments brought by new disruptive organizations. Second, more openness to changes, and the last one is more attention to other ways to innovate. Next, the difference between business accelerators and business incubators. So for business accelerators, number one is provide medium and short-term businesses, which is service similar to one that offered by traditional consultancy service in a very short period of time, with the aiming of ensuring a fast and rapid growth. For business incubators, the differences is may last longer periods, which is to help companies in order to stand and walk in the very first years of the firm's life cycle. Next, business accelerators focus on scaling business, while business incubators focus on innovation of the business. But there's the similar aspects which in these two, which is both providing mentorship and guidance to companies to ensure the right support to help their growth in the future. Now I will talk about benefits and challenges of accelerators and incubators. So benefits, number one is have economic strength to innovate and renovate their business. Second, possibility to consolidate their competitive advantage. Number three, fintech startups may gain access to funding, resource and experienced consultancies. And the last one is financial institutions may gain innovative knowledge and fresh ideas. For challenges, financial institutions often stuck in old business model, and then the traditional organization have difficulties in innovating. And the last one is establishing partnership with a traditional financial institution may not be the right choice.
Next is open innovation. Open innovation is a paradigm that assumes that firms can and should use external ideas as well as internal ideas in order to create a very interactive and effective technology for fintech. Open innovation is a process utilize business models to define the requirements for these architectures and system. The business's model utilize both external and internal ideas to create value while defining internal mechanism to claim some portion of the value. This type of relationship is raising fundamental question about the way the distribution of financial product is currently structured. It is possible to imagine a new distribution model with financial institutions operating as product design platforms, selling unbranded solutions to captive or non-captive fintech startups, and capable of adapting more readily to changes in the user needs. In this case, acquiring a fintech startups as a subsidiary would make sense, as it would enable financial institutions to secure their distribution channels. The risk with this model is that the fintech startup, which is in charge of the customer relationship, might outgrow the platform supplying the financial products. The question thus is if financial institutions really have the capacity to keep pace with fintech startups' growth.
So, the conclusion of the responses of traditional players is traditional financial have responded largely by collaborating with fintech startup rather than seeking to acquire them. Second, financial institutions need to develop partnerships with fintech companies to retain customers and innovative. And lastly, financial service providers and regulators need to work together to bring customers into the regular circuits. That's all from us. Thank you.
Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.